afternoon. Thank you for joining the daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. One day I'm going to get that right, okay? One day I'm going to get it right. But anyway, this is the daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. Today is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Friday, June 27th, 2025. Hope you guys are doing well. I can see that I need to change a font color here. 1 second, real quick. That's... I do things early on, and sometimes I change my shirt, and then it blends in. So okay, I change it to a dark blue. Okay, so this is the Lowe's in Coronado on the ocean, so blue goes with the ocean, right? So there you go. So anyway, hope you guys are doing well. I'm always going to showcase a hotel, right? If I'm doing the daily check-in with Russell of Hotels, which this is, or on air with Russell of Hotels, which is that which is that live hospitality talk show that everyone's talking about, comes on every Tuesday at 1 o'clock PST, meaning on the West Coast. Okay, on the East Coast, it would be at 4. Okay, just so you know. So let me just make sure I have my comments open. So feel free to make your comments. We're live on YouTube, live on LinkedIn. If you don't subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would appreciate it if you did it. Just go to youtube.com, click on the subscribe button, hit that button, it'll go bing. If it doesn't go bing, that means you're not connected to me, okay? If it goes bing, then you're like, okay, that's it. So anytime I go live, you get a notification that I'm going live, right? Because these daily check-ins are kind of, I don't say sporadic. I do them Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but they don't necessarily have an exact time that I do it. Now, on air does, okay? On air has a time Tuesday at 1 o'clock. So that you can set your, you can set your calendar to it, okay? It's going to come on at 1 o'clock, all right? Well, the daily check-in is a little different because it's based on my schedule, but normally it's in the afternoon, 12 to 1:30, something like that. So it's like 1:37 now. So, okay, there you go. So anyway, you can make comments on LinkedIn as well. Only thing, they won't be in real time. YouTube comments will be in real time, and I can put them on the screen so the whole world can see. So anyway, so once again, this is the Lowe's Coronado. Coronado is located right outside, right across the bay from San Diego, like downtown San Diego. So you can actually see the San Diego skyline from, this hotel. No, well, I guess you can see it from this hotel as well. You can see the bridge and everything, but say downtown Coronado is right across, maybe 5 minutes if you can swim. No, a 5-minute boat ride. Let's just say that. No, if you can swim, no, it'll probably take you a little time to get across the bay. But anyway, so this is just a outside patio view. The bay is right there. Kind of a cloudy day, but you can see some of the blue in the ocean, the bay area, whatever. But just a beautiful setting. Very nice hotel. Stayed there for 2 nights. Enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Appreciate the hospitality at the Lowe's Coronado. Yes, we do. We do appreciate that. So anyway, these daily check-ins don't have to be that long. I just kind of I'm kind of wordy sometimes, so they don't have to be that long. So let's kind of move forward on this. Let's move forward. They go about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, but sometimes, depending on comments, depending on how much wind I have, I'm going to continue to talk. And today is Friday, so there you go. So I'm sure everybody was like, waiting, looking forward to me coming on Friday and seeing what I had to talk about today. But anyway, so just in case you did not know, Global Hospitality recognized me and 50 others as top 50 social media influencers in global hospitality for 2025. That comes from International Hospitality Institute. So yeah, I do this every day, right? I'm thanking people. Every time I do this daily check-in, I'm thanking them for doing it because I do appreciate it. And there may be some new people on here that haven't seen this show before, haven't seen the daily check-in and what I talk about. Well, this is one of the things I talk about. And if you didn't know, well, now you know, right? So it's one of those things that not everyone knows that I'm one of the top 50, hospitality professionals, right? And social media. Not everybody knows that. So I have to tell you, and it's okay to let people know, right? Some people like, oh my God, I can't let anybody know. No. My job is to let people know what I do, who I am, what I do, and how I can assist people. So there you go. So I'm all about brand awareness for hotels, for anything within the hospitality space. It's about brand awareness. And with that brand awareness, it comes or it starts with your own brand, right? So if people don't even know your own brand exists, you have to let people know, right? So this is my brand. I started this brand back in 2017. So I just want to make sure people know that I exist, that this brand exists, and this brand is here to assist anyone in the hospitality space. It can be hotels, it can be individuals, it can be restaurants, it can be whatever, CVBs, but it's all about brand awareness. It's creating that visibility for hotel brands. And contrary to popular belief, and I always say this, people always think that, oh, my hotel, everybody knows who we are. They know we exist. No, they don't. No, they don't. Because if everyone knew that you existed, you'd be running 100% 365, okay? 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. You'd be running full blast, okay? But that's not the case, okay? So everyone needs a little help, and that's okay. Just because you want help or just because you need help doesn't mean you're not being successful. That means you're being smart. That means you're being strategic in making sure you are visible for everyone to see, okay? So anyway, there you go. I had to throw that in there. I just had to throw that in there, okay? The blog. Okay, so anything I talk about, any topics that I discuss either today or that I discussed in the past, they will be on my blog. Okay, so all you have to do is go to russellofhotels.com, and I believe, oh, again, let me change the font color on that as well because it's kind of blending in. Let's make that black. So you can do these on the fly. Boom. Boom. There you go. You just do them on the fly. So, okay, so just go russellofhotels.com and just go to the blog. You'll see the drop down menu. It says blog. Hit that button. Pop. Poof. And any topic that I talk about today, as well as yesterday, day before, last week, 3 weeks ago, whatever, is going to be there. So, and it's just a way to be familiar with my website as well. So you can peruse the website, if you will, and see what the heck is going on, when I started this, why I started this, what I do. All those kind of things are located on the website. Specifically, the blog is there as well. So anything, any topics, any kind of newsworthy things I'll put on the blog. Okay, so there you go. Just a point of reference for you. So, okay, so speaking of the blog, this topic is already there, right? So you can go and check out and see. You don't have to write notes. You know how people take notes. Oh, I'm going to take notes because he always has some interesting things to talk about. Well, that may be true, but you don't have to take notes, okay? Because all the information is on the blog, okay? Because there's more information than what I'm giving you on the screen here. There's more, a little bit more information. So I go into detail on each one of these 4 points. I'll go into little detail. Well, the detail will be on the blog, okay? So I couldn't put everything on here because people are like, I know he's not going to go over that. I know he's not going to discuss all that stuff. But yeah, I am, but it's going to be a bullet point, so don't worry about it. So, okay, the topic for today is your sales team only responding or actually selling? Now, I get comments, how do these people always ask me, how do you come up with these topics? I talk to people all the time. It can be sales managers, director of sales, general managers, VPs of operations, VPs of this company, management companies, corporate groups. Corporate hotel organizations, whatever. It's the whole gamut, right? Other consultants I talk to as well, meeting planners, meeting professionals, all those people, everybody. And they always, some of the salespeople will say, hey, they, because they're having issues, right? They're having issues. And, they'll complain about other people on their teams as all they have to do, they're just getting all the leads, right? They're just responding to leads. They're being, they're not being proactive, that they're reacting, right? So I guess depending on what markets people have, and I'm speaking of salespeople, depending on what markets these salespeople have, it determines how much work you put into it, right? Sometimes these CVent leads just start coming in for certain types of groups. It can be an association, maybe it's government, those types of groups. Maybe I'm handling corporate, and the corporate group I actually have to go out and find, right? I have to solicit for it. I'm not getting a lot of CVent leads or leads in general, right? So, and it always comes down to, well, they should have higher goals. I mean, that's another story for another time. But I just want to talk about, is your sales team responding or actually selling? That's the only thing I'm talking about today, okay? The other stuff, it has to wait till another time, and maybe I don't even want to touch that. But some people will call me and say, it's not fair. Do you think this is fair? And they give me the whole scenario, and it basically has to do with, getting a lot of leads, and they're not getting a lot of leads, right? So anything that they get, they have to hunt themselves, right? Some people, there's a difference between gatherers and hunters. You guys have all heard that, right? A gatherer is just basically getting the leads that are coming in. A hunter is actually going out, eating what he kills, right? So it's not always, is it always fair? I mean, it is what it is, right? You're a salesperson. You should always have that hunter mentality, but a lot of times we don't, and a lot of times we weren't trained like that, and it is what it is. So anyway, but today, what I'm talking about today, I know I went on a little tangent. Is your sales team only responding or actually selling? Okay, so today's check-in takes into a critical look at the difference between responding to business and truly selling in today's hotel environment. In too many hotels, sales teams have become overly reactive, waiting for RFPs, responding to CVent leads, and answering inquiries, but doing very little to create demand to drive revenue proactively. Now, CVent, that's something else. That's something that we use. So there's some people from the outside that are probably saying, like, what is CVent? Well, we ain't talking about CVent today. But anyway, CVent is a tool that allows you to get leads from various companies, organizations, clients, or whatever. Okay, so just give you a little, scratch the surface. I won't get into the detail of what a CVent does, but basically it's just a platform for people to put leads, RFPs, and get requests for proposals from hotels, and then they send them on to the client. So there you go. There you go. Okay, number one, does responding equal selling? Because some people think, well, I responded to it, that means I'm selling. Is it? I don't know. It's easy to fall into a rhythm of simply answering emails and updating proposals. But true selling means creating new conversations, not waiting for them to come to you. Okay? Ask your team, when was the last time you made a proactive call that wasn't tied to a current lead? So that will answer that question, does responding equal selling? Okay? How did you get that how did you get the lead? How did it come to you? Did you actively go out there and get it, or did it just come to you via, whatever avenue, whatever platform? Okay. Did you actually call them? Did you meet them at a trade show or a convention, a conference, or whatever, on an elevator, gave your 5-minute, your 3-second or 30-second elevator pitch, and like, oh my God, give me your email. I'm going to send you stuff. Was it that way? Just, I guess, ask that question. Ask your team that question. Okay. It seems pretty simple to me. Seems pretty simple. Okay. Number 2, proactive selling means strategy. Are you identifying target accounts based on your PACE reports and need periods? A PACE report? Need periods? Every hotel, well, they should have PACE reports to see, are you on track from last year? Everything always has to do with the previous year, or maybe the previous month, or whatever. But yeah, for the most part, the previous year, are you on pace to exceed, or at least to meet and exceed your numbers from the previous year? So that's what a PACE report does. Also, what about need periods? Every hotel has need periods. You may have conferences and all this, but then in between these conferences, there's nothing. There's no group business at all. Well, those are need periods. So maybe it's June 30th through July 11th. That's, those are need periods, right? So you don't have anything on the book, so you need things. So you're taking all that business. Well, is that stuff going to come to us, or do you have to actively go out and seek clients that have maybe had groups on those particular dates? That's what I would do, right? I would go back and look in the past, like who was here on these particular dates? Was there ever any groups that were here on these particular dates? And then I would contact them. That's what I would do, right? But who am I? I don't know much, right? But yeah, I used to be a former sales manager, former director of sales and marketing, even former general manager. So maybe I got a little, maybe there's a little bit I know. I don't know. Let's see. Let's continue though. Let's continue. Are you offering value in your outreach or just checking in with? Do you have any upcoming meetings? I hate that. I hate when I call. Well, no, I don't call them. They call me, right? So I'm a meeting planner or a hotel site selection, and and I appreciate people for calling me because I'm on their list somehow. Maybe I had a previous program there before. Maybe I sent out RFP there. Maybe it just didn't materialize for them, but it went somewhere else. So they'll call me and say, "Hey, do you have anything?" Instead of like finding out a little bit about me, they're just basically just boom. Do you have any upcoming meetings? I'm just calling to see if you have any upcoming meetings. Huh? What? And I don't even know this person, right? I don't know this person because the previous person that I work with is no longer there, right? So why wouldn't they have called me before and just say, "Hey, I know that you worked with so and so in the past. So and so is not here anymore. I'm now your contact, and I'm just calling to find out a little bit more about you, about what you do, all this kind of, whatever. Are you still doing the same types of meetings? I understand you brought, this corporate group to us. Are you still doing corporate group, or have you expanded to somewhere?" Those are questions that I would love to hear. But it doesn't happen like that. I get the phone calls and they just basically say, "Do you have any upcoming meetings?" And I'm like, ugh, it just takes the air out of me, right? So I'm excited they call me, but then when they ask that one question and they go straight to that question, I just go, oh my God, are you kidding me? So anyway, try this. I noticed your team had held a leadership retreat in Phoenix last year. That's just giving an example. Have you considered a venue change for 2025? Let me show you what we can offer. That would be a good one, right? That's a good little start. Number 3, use your tools creatively. Fam trips, social media, hotel showcases, and content should be all a part of your sales toolkit. Are your salespeople taking video sites? I'm sorry. Are your salespeople taking videos at site tours to share on LinkedIn and tag prospective clients? Who does that? Who is doing that? Let me know by a show of hands who's doing that. You go to your fam trip, or you have this fam trip, you spend all this money inviting these, whatever, 20 meeting planners to your hotel, and they're taking 100,000 pictures and videos and all that. Do you actually compile those, put those together, and send them to your clients? Let them know, "Hey, missed you at the fam. Missed you, for the fam. Here's a kind of a snippet of the fam trip that we just did. We showcased, last 4 hotels or whatever, whatever the heck it is." Do we do that? Do we use those things to attract more business? Because believe me, that's being creative, and you definitely, if you don't do that, you should do that. That's what I would do. In fact, that's what I do, right? So what I do is, in order sometimes for me to get business, I show a lot of things that I'm doing, right? I show meeting space, the people that I meet with, all that stuff. And that creates a buzz because then they start looking at, well, what does this Russell really do, right? Oh, he actually does this. This is his job, right? He actually, he's not just an influencer. He actually plans meetings, or he represents his clients and as far as hotel site selection. That's what his job is. That's what he does. So there you go. So those are things that I get. So what do you think about that? Let me know. Are you repurposing blog posts or hotel spotlights and email outreach? Do you do email outreach? Are you sending things to your, we always gather all this information. We have every client's email, phone number, whatever. What are you doing with that? Are you actually sending them things, or are you just gathering it just for whatever, for the next sales manager to come in and work with it or do something with it? But no, if we're gathering all the information, we need to be doing something with the information. If that's sending out, blog posts, if that's sending out videos of fam trips or whatever, that's going to create excitement, is going to create a buzz about your hotel, because they may have, quite frankly, they may have forgotten about you. Maybe this was 6 months ago. Maybe this was a year ago. Maybe this was several years ago. And, and they forgot that oh yeah, I did do a fam trip there. Or yeah, I did have a group there maybe a couple years ago. Well, the top of the hotels that are top of mind are the ones that have been reaching out to them, because people are only going to remember the last time someone called them, the last hotel. So I'm gonna remember the last hotel I went to see, which was the Gaylord in the Gaylord Pacific in Chula Vista, okay, which is right outside of San Diego too. So that's one of the last hotels I saw. So of course I'm gonna remember that, and of course I'm gonna remember all the hotels I saw in Coronado, because those are the last ones in the last week or two that I went to. Okay, so those are ones I'm gonna remember. So the ones that I saw 6 months ago, they're not even on my radar anymore. They're just not. So it's all about who is the last person to talk to me, right? Who is the last hotel person to talk to me that I talked to? That's the person that's top of mind. Or what was the last um, posting that I saw from a hotel? The last posting, because I must follow 1,000 hotels on LinkedIn, on IG, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. I get those notifications when they post, right? But to be quite frank, not a lot of them post regularly. So I couldn't tell you the last one that actually posted something. Because I can't remember, because they don't post as much as they should. Who? Are they attending industry mixers, conferences, or trade shows with intention? Are they walking away with some warm leads? So we all go to these conferences, right? We go to conference meeting, hotel site selection people, meeting planners. We all go to these conferences, as well as, our counterparts, the hotels, the suppliers, the CVBs. You go to those as well, right? So what do you come away with? Is there like, in my mind, I want to come away with, two warm leads. I'm not saying you got to come back with book business, because a lot of times that's not even realistic. Okay, it's not, because a lot of times people like myself, we're fact finding. We're finding out more information about your destination, about your hotel. We may not necessarily have a piece of business for them, but we have a client in mind for for your hotel, right? Or for your destination. We have a client that may be interested, but we don't know what you have to offer. We don't know your hotel, your facilities. We don't know anything. We don't know, maybe some need dates. We don't know any of that stuff, right? And you never know. The need dates may coincide with the dates that my client needs. So there you go. So like I said, it's unrealistic to think that, and for any director of sales and marketing to think, your salespeople are just going to go out there and just set the world on fire and book something from every trade show they go to. That's not realistic. That is not realistic thinking. But come away with some leads that you can follow up on. That's a good thing. Number 4, don't let automation kill connection. Email templates and auto response have their place, but real sales still comes from relationship. It's all about building those relationships. So those trade shows, those, the conversation that we have with people or potential clients or past clients, even if it doesn't lead to business, it's building up relationships. You're calling, you're following up on them. You may know a little bit about them, their family, you're checking on that or whatever it is. You may have taken them to lunch or breakfast or whatever when you met with them. Those are things those are steps to building that relationship, right? Like I said, you just can't go in and say, well, what do you have for me? It's not about that, right? People are people, right? And people want to do business with people that they know, people they like, people they respect, right? So let's take it from that perspective. We can have all the automation in the world, but it still comes down to relationships. So there you go. Encourage your team to pick up the phone. What? Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. Did I say that right? Encourage your team to pick up the phone, schedule a Zoom call, send a handwritten note. What? Wait a minute. Were we back in the 90s? Or use video message via tools like Loom or BombBomb. Have you ever used those tools before? I mean, you don't even have to worry about those tools. If you got a phone, do a video message to people. It's okay. You don't have to have, because if I say, oh, you're going to use Loom or BombBomb, no. You use your phone, whatever you have. If you have an iPhone, use the iPhone and do a video message. Hey, I'm so-and-so from the XYZ company, XYZ Hotel, and we have some need dates. We have need dates here. We're offering special deals. We're offering this. We're offering that. Just give me a call. My phone number is this, blah, 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 or email me. 30 seconds. Boom. Why not do something like that? And I just came up, that's just off the head, off the dome right quick. But yeah, so encourage your team, pick up the phone. I mean, I know that's a lost art, and some people don't even know that there's a phone on your desk, or you can use your cell phone, right? A lot of people use their cell phones as work phones anyway. I know I do. So pick up the phone and call people. It may even surprise them. Like, is somebody calling me? Are you calling from a hotel? Oh my God, are you serious right now? Do that. Schedule a Zoom call or whatever, video technology you're using, video platforms you're using. Send a handwritten note. If you meet with somebody, like say, I hosted a fam trip, right? And I send handwritten notes to everybody. Hey, thank you so much for coming. That goes a lot further than just an email. Believe me, it does. Okay, for me, it does. I eat that stuff up. Do you know what really eats that I really eat up? I meant to say this a couple of days ago when I did a daily check-in. When I checked into the Lowe's in Coronado, I was in my room, I don't know what I was doing, getting ready for the dinner that night or something. I don't know, taking clothes out. I don't remember what I was doing. Maybe I was just sitting there watching TV. I don't remember. But I had just checked in. So like 10 minutes after I had checked in, I know what I was doing. I was taking videos and I was taking photos of the room. I get a call and I'm like, who the heck is calling me on the phone in the room, right? And like, who's calling me and who even knows I'm in here? But anyway, I answer the phone and it's the person that checked me in at the front desk. He just wanted to make sure my room was satisfactory because he made a comment that, oh, we have a Bayview room available for you. Oh, they're great. Oh my God, he was just going on about it. I said, okay, thank you. And I didn't think anything of it until I got to the room. And yeah, it was a Bayview room and it was great. I loved it, right? So he actually called me. He followed up to see, hey, did the room meet with your satisfaction? I'm like, oh my God. First of all, thank you for the room. It's outstanding. It's spectacular, whatever I said. And I said, thank you for the upgrade, or thank you for, choosing that room for me. And thank you for calling me, because I said that very seldom happens, that people will call to follow up once you checked in. That's something that I will always remember. And in fact, I mentioned this before to someone else, another meeting planner, and we were talking about things that, the little things that make a big difference. That makes a huge difference for your front desk to call you when you check in and say, hey, I'm just checking to make sure your room is okay. Did it meet with your satisfaction? What do you think about the views? I'm like, the views are spectacular. Thank you so much. So that stuff like that, do we do that? Our salespeople, well, I guess this is something that it has to be innate in them, right? I don't know if can you train this? I guess you can. It was so natural. It wasn't like it was a training that he'd been trained. It was so natural for him to call and say the things that he said. And it just made my stay. And in fact, I'm still talking about it. So, it must be a good thing if I'm still talking about it. So anyway, so remember, it's the little things that make a big or huge difference. The best salespeople aren't just waiting for the next RFP. They're already in the room before the conversation begins. What? I like that. I may have to say that one again. I'll say it again. The best salespeople aren't just waiting for the next RFP. They're already in the room before the conversation begins. Okay, I like that. So, okay. So, where am I now? Okay, On Air with Russell of Hotels. Remember, that's every Tuesday, Show number 303 is coming up. Yeah, I've done over 300 shows. Can you believe that? Did you know the average length of a podcast goes 6 episodes? You know, everybody that ventures off and does a podcast, right? They're like, it's like 3 million of them in the world, I believe. 3.5 million. But not all of them are active. But the average length is only 6 episodes. People's like, oh, we got these grand ideas. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And then when they get into it, they're like, there's a lot of work. I got to keep doing this. I got to come up with a new topic. I got to do this. I got to do that. And people aren't tuning in. People don't like it. You know, I'm getting negative feedback. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why people stop doing what they do, especially when it comes to podcasts, right? I never listened to that, right? I never listened to the noise because believe me, there was noise like, why are you doing this? And who's gonna watch and who's gonna come on? No one wants to do yeah, 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 yeah. And I'm like, and these are people that I knew. Okay, these weren't people I didn't know. These are people that I did know. But it's all about, you know, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to be strategic in what you're doing? Is this thing serious to you? Is this gonna, you know, launch your brand? And that's how I looked at it, right? I looked at it as another tool that I need to get this Russell of Hotels off the ground for people to know who I am, what I do, and how I can help them. So yeah, so we all start there. We all get to that, you know, 6th episode, and we're like, you know what, is this really worth it? Well, I didn't. After the first episode, I was kind of, I wasn't sure how the first episode was, how it went, or how it was gonna go, right? But I did that first episode, and I'm like, I want more, right? And I continued week in and week out, and next thing you know, 300 shows, and I'm still doing it, and I'm still going to do it, right? So once again, on air with Russell of Hotels, that live hospitality talk show that goes about an hour, and everyone's talking about it. Comes in every Tuesday at 1 p.m. PST. That means here in California, comes on at 1 o'clock. So there you go. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And this is the guest room. This is the room. Oh, see, you see the phone right here? Where's the phone? You see the phone right there? That's the phone the guy called me on, right? It started ringing, and I'm like, what the heck is that? I never heard that before. And it's like lighting up and all this stuff. I'm like, no one knows I'm here. Who's calling me? So I answered the phone. There's a gentleman at the front desk. I wish I knew his name. Gentleman at the front desk said, hey, I just checked you in, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, this room is amazing. And see the view? You can see the view right there, right? Where's my finger? Where's my fingers? You see the view right there, right? You can see the bridge. You see the Coronado Bridge right there? You can see the Coronado Bridge. See? That's what I'm talking about. And then at night, it's all lit up and everything. Oh my God. You ever been to Lowe's Coronado? If you have not been to the Lowe's Coronado, you need to check it out. And the Lowe's Coronado is not like in the downtown Coronado part. It's actually away from there. So if you have a group there, I mean, you have a captive audience. They're not going to be venturing off somewhere, okay? I mean, I know they have cars, they can, but it's harder to get away from there. So there's less excitement, so to speak, at this hotel than it would be at other hotels. So depending on the subject matter, depending on your meeting, is it a sales kickoff? Is it a, you know, an annual thing or whatever the heck it is, a board meeting, you know, where people need to focus? This is where you need to be, okay? Because it's away from everything else. And you have, like I said, a captive audience there. And that's what it's all about, right? So you got to know your group, know your clients. And, you know, that's when, just like hotel salespeople need to know their clients. Me as a hotel site selection person need to know my clients as well, right? I need to know what the nature of their programs are, and then from there, find a hotel for them according to their specifications, right? They need to be away from everything. It's a retreat. They don't want to be bothered by a bunch of kids and all this kind of stuff. Well, I need to find one that's kind of doesn't have a lot of kids during this time that they're trying to meet, right? So those are questions that I tell my clients. I'm like, well, let me ask this. What are the groups that are normally here during this period of time? I'll ask that. And if it's something I know that will conflict with the groups that I have, then they can't be in the running for it. And I let them know up front, like, hey, this is a group, because some of these are, they're they don't want a lot of They don't want a lot of excitement because they're trying to focus, right? They don't want to hear laughing and all this kind of stuff and kids running around. They don't want that. Okay, they don't want that. So it's important that you know exactly what your clients want and you find whatever they want. That's what I do. Oh, that's how I do. I don't have a choice. I have to, right? So, hey, what up, son? See, this is how it goes. This is how it works. See, someone makes a comment, I put it on the screen for the world to see. There you go. So that's from my son Chance. He says, "What up, big fella? Keep grinding." Okay. Yes, I will. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You keep grinding too. There you go. So anyway, we're almost out of time here, or actually I'm out of time. Damn, I'm at 35 minutes. I was only gonna do 20, 25 minutes. See what happens when I start talking? But it's all good and it's all good information. At least I think it is. But remember, the information I shared is on my blog. So just go russellofhotels.com. It's there. Any questions you have, feel free to reach out to me. Russell@russellofhotels.com is my email. You go to Russell of Hotels, my website, and my phone number is there. If you choose to want to call me, that is fine. And just remember this, you can't expect results if you're hiding. Visibility is not luck, it's strategy. It's a strategy that I do this show, right? A daily check-in as well as on air with Russell of Hotels. That's all about strategy. It's not something I just came up with nilly-willy and was like, oh, I'm going to do this every now and then. No, it's a strategy, right? Because I need to make sure people know who the heck I am. And remember this, just because I'm doing it doesn't mean everyone knows they know who I am, right? So I'm not trying to reach the people that already know what I do. I'm trying to reach the people that don't know what I do. Okay? So there you go. If that makes sense at all, right? So anyway, once again, thank you to Lowe's Coronado. Appreciate the fam trip. Appreciate the overnight stay. Appreciate the gentleman that called me to follow up and check on the room that he gave me. And as you can see, this room is spectacular. The view is amazing, and it was on the second floor, third floor. Yeah, so I can leave my window open unless someone's gonna climb up no. I can leave the door open, the sliding glass door open all night and just get that cool ocean breeze. Oh my God, it was amazing. Amazing. I can picture myself there. Can you picture yourself there? That's what I want. I want people to be able to picture themselves here at the Lowe's in Coronado, enjoying a glass of wine. You can see a chair right there. You can have a glass of wine right there or a beer. That's what I would have. And I'll be out there just looking at the boats go by and, looking at the Coronado Bridge at night and the cars going by and all the lights and all that stuff. So anyway, I'm getting carried away, I know. Anyway, that is it. You guys have a great day. Have a great weekend, right? So make sure you tune in Monday for another daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. And on Tuesday, it'll be show number 303 of On Air with Russell of Hotels. So there you go. Until next week, you guys have a great weekend. And as always, peace.